I know, it's backwards.
Hello.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Is that it?
No.
Oh, it's Shark Tales with Andy and Jimmy Truly.
Torelli.
Woo!
Jimmy,
Stop it.
did you
I don't
get
have
any?
a clapper.
Did you get any money from the beverage company for using your name?
No, that didn't happen this year.
Yeah, really, truly.
You're not the Michael Bublé of
Yeah.
Truly's?
I do like the name Unruly Truly's though, because that reminds me a lot of you guys.
Mostly my wife.
Yes, absolutely. Jolene Truly's out of control. Typically 9 out of 10 nights at
Hey.
Placerville.
She cooked us dinner tonight. I ain't
That was
seen
good.
nothing
That was
bad
good dinner.
about
That was
Jolene.
absolutely a good dinner.
She's bomb.
Okay, so we're here at the Trophy Cup Wednesday night. Tomorrow night is the first night of racing. Tonight was move-in day. People were rolling in.
Like non-stop all
Yes.
day. And then,
Got busy.
yeah,
Business is picking up.
for all 45 cars tomorrow.
Yeah, there is some question on how many cars are going to be here, but
Here's going to be a low count.
who cares about Trophy Cup? Let's talk about our good buddy Jimmy Torelli.
Yeah, let's do that.
You started racing at Placerville in 1987, correct?
Yep.
Were you-
First race ever was 86 Gold Cup.
Oh wow,
Your
86 Gold
first
Cup.
race was that Gold
Not
Cup.
even Placerville.
Yes. First race.
In a
86 Gold
410?
So your dad,
No.
your dad Dennis
Hey, just
raced.
like me.
What made you go to Gold Cup for night one?
Dad just said, "You'll be fine." I think Bobby Davis drove by me the first time, and I didn't even know if my motor was still running.
That's like how you teach a kid to swim. You just throw them in the pool or in the deep end. Like, you'll figure it out.
So, any fun things about the 1986 Gold Cup? Like, so what main event did you make?
I think I was in the F.
The
That
F
was
main?
the last one, yeah.
Yeah, the final main event.
Sammy Swindell had
Yes,
flown in
yes,
that
yeah.
year. Him and Tony Lutar were both in the F. They went by me, roosted me, and
Both
I
in the
pulled all the
F.
tear-offs off
Aw.
that lap, and then that was all she wrote.
What was your racing experience before that?
I had only raced a couple of motocross races before, and that was it. I grew up on
So,
motorcycles. That was it.
That's guys, like that's what happened. Like,
What we
in
used
the-
to do,
yes,
yeah.
in the 80s, 90s, like they didn't have go-karts and micros and I don't think quarter midgets at that time. Like you just kind of got thrown into the deep end. Like here's a 360 or 410 sprint car. Like have at it.
I don't even.
Good
There
luck.
really wasn't. It was just sprint cars.
Yeah.
You just ran a sprint car, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
410 was the rule, but some guys had 320s, some guys had 360s,
Oh,
380,
yeah?
83s, 406s. It was just sprint cars. There weren't all these breakdowns of divisions.
Well,
What'd you have, Jimmy?
369 cubic inches.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's sexy. That's a
Yeah.
sexy number motor.
So you move on to Placerville in 87, and you race against future Hall of Fame, National Hall of Famer Paul McMahon. And did you beat him for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, by 5 points.
Nice.
Wow, that's so cool.
He won
So
a main-
technically, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right?
Absolutely.
No.
Hashtag
He
vote
won.
Jimmy.
He won a main event that year. Best I ran was third. I think that was a shortened main event. But I thought they would go by that. They only went strictly by points. Him and I were out in Bob Clausen's motorhome, partaking in a few little beverages
Libations.
when Tim Clausen came out and yelled at me and said, "Get up on stage! You got Rookie of the Year." And I thought it was Paul, so I said, "Hey, get out there!" And he's like, "No, it's you." So that was kind of
You
a
were in the
surprise.
motorhome during the banquet.
After the banquet, kind of the stock cars were up there and stuff. And
Oh, okay.
We were screwing around.
Yeah.
Enjoying libations with Bob Clausen.
Wow.
New Gary's Motor Shop, who sponsored a lot of race cars throughout his
He-
career.
He sponsored me. Well, I put his name on the car, and I didn't get nothing out of it.
That's a good
But
sponsorship.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Whatever works.
So you messed around at Placerville for a couple years, and then you just said, "Screw it, let's go narc racing."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he bailed. He bailed on Placerville.
I raced with a small motor the first 12 races. It blew up at Santa Maria. Then we took a little time off, built an iron 406, and I think 3 or 4 races in, that thing cracked and broke. And then we were out for a couple months. And that's when I helped Chris Humphreys his first year. I towed him to the races with our truck and trailer and gave him
For
a bunch of spare
Placerville?
parts and all that stuff. Yeah, his first year at Placerville. while we were building our other motor.
Best crew chief ever.
No.
Just saying.
What year was your first win?
Oh man, it wasn't until '98 at Chico,
Really?
Friday night 410 deal.
Wow. So
That's
what
That's what Darren was telling me.
You should have just ran Chico all the time and not Placerville.
Well, we ran Placer for a little while, and then they got rid of the 410s.
Mm.
So then Chico was the only thing on Friday nights or NARC. So
So what inspired you to just jump ship and go to NARC for that time?
just because we were just trying to venture out, go to race other tracks, and
Yeah.
see what else we could do. And McMahon's kind of talked us into coming out and racing with them.
Look at both of you influenced by the McMahons.
Yeah.
But that
truly.
kind of goes back to my little theory, and I got a friend who's kind of encouraged me with it about there shouldn't be a travel 360 series because we should just be encouraging everybody to run NARC, which is kind of what you did, because there really wasn't anything to do other than you either ran your local series or you went and ran NARC.
There was
And
no Civil War.
there was no 360s back then. There
Okay.
wasn't. We weren't pounding the 360 drum in 1987, 88, 89. It was just if you wanted to race a sprint car, it was still called a sprint car. You basically went and ran NARC, which proof in the pudding here is that's what these guys did. But then the late 80s, early 90s, all of a sudden the 360s, and then we became a two-division
Yeah.
a two-division state.
So when I was getting a car in 01, it was you had to make a decision like, are you going 410 racing or are you going 360 racing? So the plan was to get a 410 because we lived in Orville or Chico essentially, so we wanted to do 410 racing for that weekly series. But at the time, I couldn't get a 410 motor, so 360 we can do that, and it was so late in the year that we basically we can race like the fall nationals and the last few Civil War shows at the end of the year, so we can get more races in at the end of this year, and then try to get a 410 to start the season next year. So yeah, times have changed as far
Talking
as
cost, I mean, we talked to Andy earlier today about like his first like 410 with A&A, like what that deal cost, and then like
It
what
blew
did
up
your
the first night.
but it was $25,000 for an operation.
We bought an entire guy's operation out for $25,000. Car, motor, fuel jugs, spare wheels, parts, a little open trailer, and you could almost can't even freshen a motor for 25 grand now.
Yeah, like what did you buy your first sprint car for? Yeah.
I can't remember.
But it wasn't much. I
Right.
mean, yeah,
To
like
get a roller. Again, the motor
Yeah.
is the most expensive thing, as per usual. But it
and
wasn't
Jimmy,
that
you
bad.
started with like, do you remember how much it was to
His
like
dad's
start?
ship box. His dad raced.
Right,
Did you
but
get
like
to run the
how much
plastic
was the
wing?
cost?
Did you run the plastic wing?
That freaking
no.
thing.
He ran a plastic wing.
My dad did, not me, but
At Baylands. That's son of a
Baylands,
gun.
Chico. I remember at Chico, the old school clay. That thing looked like a B-52 bomber. The edge of the wings were touching the ground almost.
The theory behind these wings is you could tip them over and they would just fling back into shape, but that didn't work. They were short-lived, but it was a cool idea. So okay, eventually you did make your way back to 360s, or you went 360 racing at Placerville. Do you remember the night I spun you out for the lead at the Forney race?
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, that one's at the top of my list.
What?
I think you crashed after that.
Yes, the place went crazy.
Karma is a bitch.
Oh, shut up over there.
There goes Unruly Truly over there, huh?
Yeah.
Peanut gallery.
Do you remember me coming up to you on my red flag and apologizing to you?
Yeah, you said I'm an idiot or something.
And
Did it matter?
Your crew was
Didn't
all
matter.
very cordial about it. Like I think they probably wanted to kick me in the shin, but they were like, "Well, at least this guy's coming and fessing up to it." I mean, I didn't mean to do it.
We still hang out with you, so
Yeah, I mean, we're
right.
camping together. It took 19 years, but finally I'm back in your good
Those
graces.
years.
Did you cheer though when he crashed? You're like, yeah. did you get?
I was in the back after he spun me out. I had to go to the back, obviously, and so then I couldn't even see him crash. I was so far back in the back.
The funny thing was, I think the yellow had come out, and then I tipped over under caution. I don't know what I was doing.
Nobody ever knows.
Yeah, that was a good night. What? Go ahead, Sean.
So
what
your first win was at Chico, but then you're essentially been a Placerville regular for a long time. Like
He ran-
Placerville, your favorite
He
track.
ran second in points that year at Chico,
Oh, did you?
behind TK.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
We've all done that.
Run second at TK.
Bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Bridesmaid.
Stupid TK.
Yeah. I'm a bully. Guy's a bully.
But this is it, huh? 3 weeks ago was it.
Yep. It's time.
No more 33T at Placerville.
Unless Jaron wants to run.
Iconic.
Jared.
No.
Kidding me?
You're
Is
not
Jared
into it?
gonna run?
Oh.
No. What about all the different tracks
What?
he's actually
What?
won at, though?
How many different tracks have there been?
A lot. There's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you win at Grass Valley?
No,
No.
I raced there, but I didn't win there.
Not a good crash.
Placerville,
We got
Chico,
crashed there.
I remember the crash.
Placerville, Chico, Marysville, Calistoga, Quincy,
Yakima.
Yakima, Skagit.
Wow.
I guess that's it.
I haven't
You
won
were,
Alps, dude.
yeah. Well, those were NST races up there, weren't they? With Fred.
Yakima was, and then Skagit was the 360 Nationals. It was a prelim night.
Bob's Burger
The,
National.
the Dirt
Wow.
Cup,
Where's Yakima?
360 Dirt Cup.
In
That's in Washington?
Washington.
Yeah.
Like
Biggest-
Central
that
Washington
was
on
the
the
biggest
east.
So that was
east
early 2000s then?
coast. 2004.
Okay.
I ran the
When
whole,
they did the NST
I ran the
at the
whole-
same time as. Okay.
Yeah, I ran the whole NST tour in 04.
That was the biggest like financial win we ever had.
Yeah. Calistoga though, that's always. I feel like
that's
anity like that went
You
to
got a belt
Calistoga.
buckle.
That's
Let's
a
talk
big
about
one.
that. I don't. Let's refresh the memory.
was
there.
that?
What we do there?
I ran second in the heat, started outside pole next to Scott Kinney, and then we led the whole thing.
Yeah.
What year was
Civil
this?
War
That was
show?
07. Yeah.
07.
I won
Oh,
an
Benson won in 07, I
he
think.
won,
too.
he won the
Yeah.
early race. I won the late race. I won at Placerville, a Civil War race that year too. That was probably my best year, 07.
Yeah, I ran second to Benson at the Calistoga, so the spring race. So gosh, we went there twice a year.
Yeah.
Wow, that was totally unnecessary. I mean, 360s did not need to go to a half mile. I mean, that just goes totally against what my theory is of what we should be doing now. But it's funny we went to Calistoga twice back then.
You raced non-wing?
Oh, you
Yeah.
won that.
Yeah,
non-wing
I saw a
Gold
thing
Cup
of
show,
like
yeah.
winning a Thursday. Is it Thursday night prelim?
Yeah. I think 2013, the Chico deal.
Cup. Yeah.
Okay.
I flipped my ass off the night before, and then we thrashed all day in the car. And actually, this guy might have won, but
Yeah, I was
I think-
coming.
I think somebody clipped somebody in front of him and spun him into him, and
Lap traffic. You were slow rolling the bottom, and I was smoking the top, and we were both going the same speed. And it was just a matter of like if you hit the bottom right or I hit the top right, it was a little bit of this, and then we did get into traffic, and I got taken out. So that would have been a good finish. That would have been an interesting endings. But that was cool because man, I don't think anybody parties harder at the Gold Cup than the Truly Clan. So to have the 33T win a race at Gold Cup,
Yeah.
that was definitely a party.
Epic.
that was the first night of the official night at the Black Light Party. That was the first night.
Oh no way.
Oh,
So that was a pretty cool
so
night.
that kick started it, huh?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Jesus. That's awesome.
Did you run trophy cups?
I ran some in I ran it back in San Jose. I ran some in Hanford, and some here in Tulare. But I don't go fast enough here.
It's hard to go fast here.
Yeah,
How was your 2010 Wednesday night Gold Cup?
2010.
I think you had to leave your trailer over in the corner because it was flooded out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Angus just said start
yeah,
of the
yeah.
blacklight party.
Yeah, that was kind of brutal.
Yeah.
We had to pull our generator out, so when all the rain and the flood came in the corner, we were parked next to Monahan in the corner there in turn one. and the pits started flooding. I had about 13 people in the trailer, and we were watching the chaos, and then all of a sudden our lights started blinking. We forgot about the generator, and it ended up being sunk by the water, and that killed it. But we were buried. He pulled Alan pulled Monahan out with the big green tractor, and I want to say it tore up the bumper and stuff on the truck. And Alan came back to get me, and I said, we're staying here." So we cracked into the beers and partied the rest of the night.
That was insane.
In
Yeah.
2010,
rain.
we were running a Civil War show.
Qualified.
The Wednesday night Civil War show. There was no forecast of rain.
No.
We were just minding our own business. September, it was probably 95 degrees.
10
And all of a
cars
sudden,
into qualifying.
There's a cloud, and we're looking, and all of a sudden a little bit of sprinkle, and then all of a sudden it just came down, and all the water. I mean, I didn't know this at the time, but turn 1 is the lowest point of the fairgrounds. All the water went down there, so all the poor suckers that were parked down in 1 and 2 got flooded out. I mean, the water was going to the back of your trailer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was 1.5 feet deep. It was the most insane thing I think I've ever been involved with at a racetrack. It was unreal.
We were on the backstretch, like by the scoreboard, kind of where you park now, and we were up to like where the back closes on the trailer, water
yeah. No,
coming
it was-
in. I
it
mean,
was a
it
foot
wasn't
deep.
just
It
it
was
wasn't
insane.
it was the whole entire fairgrounds.
I mean, not just the happens that we were racing, but even like if it would have been January, it would have been something insane. But we all happened to be there in the pits racing, trying to race, and yeah, like you said, his trailer got left there because it was just such a freaking disaster. But so 2013 was when you won that non-wing race. That was the first black light party. Now the black light party's rocking.
What was
Thanks,
your favorite
Dave.
track of all the tracks that you ran? Because you just mentioned some. I mean, even just with Trophy Cup that are closed now, that most people still racing today never raced.
He raced at Ascot.
Yeah,
That
we
race,
last
the 1990 race in Ascot, yeah.
the last wing race.
I liked Grass Valley. That was fun. I like Cottage Grove. Cottage Grove was a really fun racetrack to run. But I don't know. I don't know if I had a favorite one. I like them all.
You're talking like bull ring stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I always struggled at Calistoga, and then all of a sudden everything went our way that night, and we won.
But you had some laps there because you ran a moderate amount of NARC shows there compared to a majority of the 360 guys.
Yeah.
You remember the first time you yelled at me?
Did you yell at the shark?
He says I did, but
I feel like I've heard a
think
lot of
he had
stories
me
over the last
mistaken
couple
with somebody
days
else.
of you yelling at people, and I have changed my view on the gentleman.
Yeah, that's your nickname, the gentleman Jimmy Truly. But
that might have been before I was named that.
we've heard that you've
We've
yelled at a
heard
lot of
some
people.
like crazy fights. Like
He is the nicest person in the whole wide world.
have you fought people?
Nope. Oh, we.
There's been a couple little bouts. but
Wait,
nothing
fake
major.
news. We heard
Nothing
different
major.
stories last night.
They're all just stories.
Have you ever been to court?
Oh, son of crap.
Yes, one time.
Well, that was.
Way to go, Lisa.
What a gentleman
Gentlemen
showing
don't
up
go
to your court
court.
appearance. That's a great thing to do. That's a very gentleman
Thanks,
thing to do.
Lisa Becker.
That got thrown out though. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Wasn't that?
So it didn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear about when you yelled at Sean. I'm interested now. I'm being defensive.
So, how I remembered it, I thought for the longest time that it was just like a random 360 point show at Marysville, and I was running like 6th or 7th or whatever, and it was getting late in the race, and track was just super dry, and I spun out middle of 3 and 4, collected Jimmy, and he's yelling at me in the car and all pissed off. I'm like, I know, I suck. I'm an idiot. Like, I was a rookie. It was like my first or second year.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, and I like came in the pits and like went to him like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm an idiot. I spun myself out, but then to take you out, like, I feel horrible. And he just looked at me like, okay, like very surprised that somebody came, like, and like.
That
owned
was
up to
normal
it.
back then. It's
To
not normal anymore
credit
to
for it,
apologize for stuff, but that was a thing that we
I
used
was
to
just
do.
recently watching, like, my mom used to videotape all my races, and like we had an 8mm tape. It was.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. 8mm.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
That's what.
That's what it
they
was.
were, bud.
Had
Yes,
to
it was.
be VHS.
No, early
Beta.
2000s,
You were
bud.
on beta.
We had betas too.
Yeah, we did have betas. But I was running third in a Civil War race. He was running fourth. So it was kind of a big deal. And I don't know if he was in the points hunt or something, but like, yeah, like I would have been pissed
Yeah,
off too.
I
if some
remember now.
stupid
That's why I was
rookie
mad,
just
yeah.
I'm
spun
like,
out.
I
remember now.
remember that. See, that's how much it mattered.
Yeah.
Jolene didn't care, so we're good.
Yeah. Well, that was my first introduction to Jimmy. It was him yelling at me because I wrecked his night.
Jimmy, you
Well, he was just in the car yelling like, "You're an idiot!" I'm like, "I know, like I suck."
He never yelled at me. Why didn't you ever yell at me?
I remember that. I think he must have bumped his head that night or something.
I do not remember you ever yelling.
I raced with his dad,
Ever.
Chico.
No.
Did you ever yell at
that's
him?
Cool.
He never spun out in front of me.
Dave Angus says you yell all the time.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
That's what he said. It's on the internet. It must be true.
Because he gets me in trouble all the time.
He yells at me all the time, he said.
Because he gets me in trouble all the time.
Dave Angus, stop getting Jim and Truly in
Dave,
trouble.
we were actually talking about you today that we feel like this
They
is a
should come to Trophy
this
Cup.
is a perfect week for the Angus clan to be camping and watching racing
And just
so-
chilling
yeah,
and not
you
working.
Just having fun
Yeah.
and not working.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, I've been harping on you about racing one more year, all this year. I put it on your reserve pit stall sign. It says 33T, and I wrote one more year on it because I am a nerd that likes history and the icons of the sport. Whether you've won 1 million races or 1 million championships, to me, you are an icon of the sport. The 33T in Northern California, whether it was NARC or Chico, or the last 15, 20 years at Placerville,
Placerville is a
it's just
staple.
the 33T has to be there. So it's going to be different without that car at the racetrack. So I've been harping on that, wishing and hoping, but I get it. You got to call it a career. So I'm going to miss it, and I know I'm not the only one.
100%.
I appreciate the words.
Yeah,
It's hard. It'd
Yeah.
be hard, but it was just time.
I get it. I don't like it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would call you Placerville's favorite son. Placerville likes themselves some Jimmy Truly.
I feel like it's not just like a driver thing or a fan thing. I mean, it's like when the 33T hits the track, like the crowd goes crazy. Like you have a following,
They do.
and it's like you know when you go to certain places, like, oh, that's the hometown guy,
Yeah.
and like you are the hometown guy, like at Placerville, and I feel
I
like.
had to pay those people a lot of money to keep them for a lot of years.
But it is like I remember watching the ceremony of like your last race, and it was like, this is seriously the end of an era. Like this is a big deal. So I don't know if you felt that, but it's like for all of us, just I mean, we're friends, but we're fans also. So like on the
Absolutely.
outside, it's a big deal for you to be done racing. Like it's heartbreaking. It's an iconic. You're an iconic person and car and everything. You'll definitely be missed at the track, especially in Placerville. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It'll be different. It'll be weird. We'll see what happens next year. That's when it'll all settle in, probably.
Yeah. Going and watching, knowing
So
that
don't
you're not
sell
there.
your stuff just yet.
Oh yeah, there you go.
If it's just sitting there, might as well bring it back out.
I already got somebody who wants to buy my fuel jugs in the trailer.
Fuel jugs?
Fuel jugs?
Hell, I'll give you fuel jugs.
Legit. Literally only wants to buy our fuel.
What?
Motor and car, no
Sorry,
fuel
can't-
jugs.
Can't race. We don't got the fuel jugs.
You don't
Can't
want
fill
our
up the car.
freaking motor or
That's-
car, but
That's the most random.
What is it?
That's so random.
Are you selling tear-offs too?
One left front radius rod. I mean, what are we doing here?
That's hilarious.
You know what, Jimmy, you should say too, though? I'm sorry, I'm not on Shark Tales. but
Yes, you are.
That the whole 38 years, have we not had pretty much the same exact crew?
Yeah.
Almost all 38 years.
Yep.
That says something right there. I'm just gonna say. We
Yeah.
legit had almost the same exact guys.
Yeah.
Like for 38 years. And we can't thank them more than enough.
Yeah. Darren's been there the longest.
Yep, Darren, get over there. Go
Terry.
say hi to, go get behind
Terry.
Terry.
Jaren's crying right now.
Jaren's crying.
Yeah, she said, "Oh man, now I'm crying again."
My brother-in-law Bert for a long time.
Yeah. Flyman,
Flyman.
Terry.
I already said Terry.
Oh, I already said Terry.
Luke came on the last handful of years. So
But there's not a lot of people that can always say that
Yeah.
I've had the same
Oh,
guys
for sure.
on my crew for
Yeah,
since I started.
Since high school?
Yeah, no, since
Yeah.
I started, and we
Yeah.
legit have had that, and it's kind of freaking amazing.
yeah. That's awesome.
No, it says a lot about you.
Kind of the way it's sort of kind of supposed to be.
Right.
It's not a professional business for you. You're with your friends and your family.
Hiring people.
You
that
go
are
to the
gonna leave after
races
a
and
few
you just
years.
do your best. It's a little different now, right?
You're here with your
Yeah.
friends.
It's
Yeah.
a lot
Still-
different now.
It's a lot
Yeah,
different,
you've
yeah.
watched like the evolution of a lot. You came when it was run whatever you had, to now it's like insane.
It's
Like,
kind
it's a
of,
totally
I jokingly
different-
call it the World of Outlaw 360 series in California.
Yeah.
It's really silly.
used to think about old school. There was 20% of the cars in the pits that were that upper level, and 80% of us could all be mediocre and still be good. And nowadays it's flip flop. There's 80% of the teams are all way up here,
Ballers.
and there's only a
Baller
few,
budgets.
There's only a few mom and pops that are even out there, and it's tough to make it.
I don't know how they do it. You do it. The small teams do it. It's not right, but we fucked it up, Jimmy. We let it happen. Why? I mean, why did the
that was
older?
on your watch?
Well, it did. It really did. I mean, it evolved during our little duration. Like, we just watched it happen in front of our eyes. I don't know why we weren't raising our hands saying, you know, this is stupid. What are we doing here? But it happened quick. So,
It's like all these teams that run
Well.
the double duty or whatever. Do you think that's kind of what like evolved into this? Is like you have both cars, so you have all the same parts. So like you've talked about this a million times, Andy. Like a couple people get these Swindell bleeders, and we got to have them. So then everyone gets them, and then there's no advantage. But we're all spending a whole bunch more money.
yeah.
So
you
like
raise
the
your
mom and
cost
pop
per night.
teams, like, oh well, we don't have those, so do we have to get those to be able to do this? And then like it just
Well,
kind
yeah,
of takes
they-
away the show up to the track and run your
they
car.
mortgage their house, honestly, to do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help them because they're still the bottom of the chain. I mean, there's always the top of the pyramid, and whether we all have the same parts, the creams get a rise at the top. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you know, low buck Joe is going to still spend a small fortune, and low buck Joe's still going to finish at the back. So, it's the goal would be to have low buck Joe not having to spend a small amount or small fortune to finish last, right?
Yeah.
You want them to spend a small amount of money to finish last, but now we've made it to where these guys are spending a small fortune to finish last on a weekly point show. So,
Yeah.
anyways, who cares about that? This is the Jimmy Truly show, so.
I
mean,
think
that's honestly half the reason you're getting out, right? I mean, it's so goddamn expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
you still want to race.
Yeah.
You're still physically able to race. I mean, you're still in good shape. You're still good.
Oh
Jimmy's back is broken.
Well, I mean, he's not like he's a fat old piece of shit. I mean, he's fucking ready to roll.
We compete with the younger drivers and dad's money. We can't.
Yeah.
do it as a mom and pop operation.
We're talking with my dad bod. It's still able. to
Your
be out
dad,
there
I
racing.
love you, Jimmy Chulio. Your dad is
He's
amazing.
out there racing you.
Railing
I'll
her.
take your dad. by
Railing her,
any
not
day.
racing her.
It's crazy though. I don't know how many times like watching Placerville races from home because I didn't go to a lot this year, but it was like Jimmy Truly's quick time right now. Like hell yes! Like I was so excited.
I mean, he
like
can still lay some laps down. I mean, it's
right.
I mean, it's
like this
unfortunate
is his
that
last year, but he's going quick time. Like
would-
he's on the front row of the heat. Please transfer. Like I mean,
Yeah, that
I
was a bummer. You didn't transfer out or heat that one night. I was like, oh man, all he's got to do is transfer, and this fucker can pull a 1 or a 2.
Yep.
This might be the night. And I
Yeah.
think I was in staging. I couldn't watch your heat, and I can kind of judge on what place everybody finishes, but how they come off the track. Yeah, because you can't always see the scoreboard. And I'm like, why did he come up in 6th? Nah, he didn't finish
It was a
6th.
stacked heat.
And then I roll down and I'm looking at the scoreboard. I always push my head over like, he ain't even on the scoreboard. He fucked it all up.
Fucking Jimmy Truly.
Son of a bitch.
That was a defining moment right there. I'm out.
No.
Ah.
All right. Well, Jimmy, you are a baller at Placerville. I appreciate all the years you put in there. Appreciate all the years seeing you at the track for 38 years. Is that the rumor? I mean, that's cool.
Congratulations
Yeah.
from a great
Yeah.
career, man. It's,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you.
something
Appreciate
to
it.
inspire to for sure.
Thanks for letting us make you really uncomfortable.
Thank you.
He's so uncomfortable. You have
So
to-
uncomfortable right
So
now.
uncomfortable.
No, I know. I was like, no, just go sit down. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right.
No.
Just felt like I was being interrogated with that round light right there.
I know.
No, you should like read all this stuff. People love you.
We should be talking
People
like
love
the
you.
first trip at Baylands.
First trip to Baylands.
Yeah, they couldn't even say Jimmy Truly. It was Truelli. That's
Truelli?
where that came from.
Modern?
I think it was a mixture. It was a mixture of Jimmy Truly and Steve Tuccelli, and it came up Torelli.
Truelli.
Running
Legit
fourth back
Truelli.
here.
So was that Vaughn or George Haig saying that?
I think it was
George Haig?
Haig,
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
George Haig.
I'm not sure.
I mean, there's. I showed a video on our show the other night of me qualifying at Placerville with the green infield, and he didn't believe there was a green infield. And then we parked into the lower section. I said, "There's not very many people around here that used to pit on the lower section." Now we're talking to a guy that actually raced the Baylands. I mean, there ain't. I can't think of one other guy that's raced the Baylands. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Wow.
There's not a lot.
I know. Well, he said
You raced the
Baylands earlier,
Baylands
and
in
I'm like, who
Ascot,
else?
Calistoga. I mean, these tracks aren't around, and you ran them.
Grass Valley.
That's kind of crazy.
Grass Valley, yeah.
Yeah, like we're gonna
Purcell.
have 65 drivers here this weekend that I've got like checked in. I don't know anybody.
Pat probably made his way to Baylands at one point
You
or
think
the
he
other.
raced
That's what I'm saying.
Baylands?
Yeah.
Like Pat's been around. Like,
Yeah.
Ascot.
You think
But
Jimmy's
Pat never
old?
went to Ascot. I'll almost guarantee that.
So like who's still around that?
Pat Harvey
That would be
would've
it.
been,
I mean, those tracks were all shut
Grass
down
Valley,
when I came
Purcell.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you Pat Harvey ran over himself.
Pat Harvey was the 1987 track champion at Grass Valley.
I was gonna say
He
had
was
to.
a track champion.
Yeah, and you know what? Pat was very instrumental in keeping Grass Valley going. He would send his employees over there. He had the machine shop, the Napa Auto Parts up there, and he worked very hard to keep
That's
CSRA, Central State Racing Association. Yeah, between Pat and the Hall family, they were very instrumental in keeping Grass Valley going. So he never, I don't think, gets the credit for that. But yeah, and I mean, if we're going to talk about Pat, it's easy to kind of make fun of Pat, right? Because, oh, he's so old. Why is he still out here racing?
No, that's rad. I love
We
it.
parked next to him a couple years ago at Marysville, and his motor wouldn't start, and it was really super hot. And that guy never stopped working on that car all night long,
just trying to
dripping
make
in sweat, and he finally got it start. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
Pat's probably 77,
Oh
He
my
might be.
God, really?
He might be closer to 80.
and I mean that guy will outwork 90% of anybody out there. So I mean, I sat back and was like, God damn, this guy is a rock star. And he does go out there, and he's not super fast, but he still turns some pretty damn fast laps. I mean,
Yeah,
he's only
he isn't too bad.
he's only a second or so off the pace, which I mean,
Yeah.
at 77 to 80, it's pretty good. So yeah,
Can't even, like,
Pat's a baller. You're not even close to Pat. What are you, 50 something?
I'm 33.
33.
It's already?
Yeah, are you 33?
Forever. Jimmy Truly is 33
33T. He's been
forever.
racing for
33.
33 years, but he's 33T.
Pat comes up to Pill Draw at Trophy Cup because I do the Pill Draw at Trophy Cup every year, and he comes up, "Hi, I'm Pat Harvey." I go, "I got you, Pat." And he's like, "Okay, well, I didn't know."
Yeah,
He's
he's
like-
already in the pits.
Like he's he's a staple here. Like I know every single year, like Pat Harvey's gonna be here.
Yeah.
It's like he's not coming to win Trophy Cup. Like he's coming because he loves what he's doing, and like so I love that story of like it's not just oh well we'll just roll it in the trailer. Like he's working
He was
hard.
adamant he was going to get that thing. And then earlier in the year, it snowed, and he was calling me. He was shoveling his driveway so he could get the
So
trailer.
he could get out of the trailer. Yeah,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Shoveling his own driveway to get the snow out of the way because the trailer is wider than the truck, right?
Yeah.
So he could have just shoveled this much. He had to shovel this much. And he was complaining that Statler, his grandkids, would have come and helped him shovel.
Have you ever shoveled snow to get out of your trailer to get to a race?
No.
No,
No.
no,
I
we
never
only get
have.
a little bit.
You guys get snow.
We do
Yeah, a
get
little bit.
snow, but it never
Not
was
much.
race time. I
Okay.
don't think.
No, the year's pretty much done by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thanks, Jimmy.
you need. I'm sorry. I'm the wife over here. You just need to say thank you to all the people that have supported us.
He doesn't
for,
have
like,
to.
all these freaking years.
No, he doesn't.
You're not the boss.
You're not the
I'm
boss.
fully the boss.
You're not the boss.
She is totally about. She fed us all tonight.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
fed all y'all.
Yeah, but we
tonight.
already got our food in our stomach, so now we don't
It
need
was
to kiss your ass.
delicious.
It
We
was
already
so
ate.
delicious. So delicious.
No, 100%. There are kids at Riley and Jaren's schools that are wearing Jimmy Truly T-shirts.
Somebody just said they saw one in Kansas City today.
Oh, nice.
It's
A 33 T-shirt
really
in
cool.
Kansas City.
I think it's pretty cool.
Was it Julie?
I have
Yeah.
very few race shirts, Jimmy, and I have a Jimmy Truly shirt.
You're not wrong. You said
Not
that.
to
You
say
don't
that that
wear
means
many.
anything, but I mean,
You're
I
wearing
was
Jimmy
wearing your
Truly
shirt yesterday.
Have you ever
Definitely
worn your
were.
own shirt?
Never.
Mm-mm.
Oh wait, you got cold at the pits when we were
Twice
drinking
I've
beer.
worn my sweatshirt because I was cold, but it was late at night. It was dark. Nobody saw me. Once
But
at
you-
Quincy and once at Placerville.
You know it's wrong.
I
You know it's not
I
okay.
probably should have just wore it inside out
There you go.
to have some coverage on my sleeves. Sometimes it's not always tank top weather.
Yeah, you're not even wearing a
I
tank top
know
right
you're
now.
not
What the
even
heck?
wearing a tank top.
I was gonna go put one on.
Start
He's retired.
over.
Hey, you
Retired,
Yeah, he's retired. He doesn't have to wear the tank tops
Retired,
anymore.
he can cover up the guns.
Yeah, I guess you can now.
Oh,
Sun's out, guns out.
Uh-huh.
good times.
That's it of the pre tomorrow night.
No, it's just pre now.
Shit gets real tomorrow.
Gets
you
real.
better not fucking
Records
suck
going fast
tomorrow.
time.
That's the plan, is not to suck.
All right.
Jimmy, are you co-driver coach?
I like that.
He could be.
For him?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need no coaching from me.
He doesn't
Just
need
yell
it.
at me.
He doesn't need it
Don't
from
spin
me.
out,
He'll
idiot.
just yell at you. Yeah.
Don't spin out,
But
idiot.
it
Don't
gives you
spin out in
purpose.
front of me, jackwagon.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah.
spin out leading a heat race that was going to pay $1,000 to win one night here, didn't you? Yeah.
Where?
Where was
Here.
And the
Here?
next one.
Those were $1,000 to win heat races, and he spun out.
Yeah.
that? Oh, mother.
Started-
Don't do that.
I didn't try to then.
Oh.
I'm just telling you now beforehand. Don't do that tomorrow.
That's like soccer fees for a whole year.
I know. So what's our plan tomorrow?
Go fast.
To
Turn left.
Try like hell
Have a
to
good time, be
qualify
safe.
halfway decent.
And
Yeah,
qualify-
Top
qualifying. Hot laps have been great this year. Qualifying's been a struggle.
I'm
And
great.
guess what? Hot
Hey,
laps
Sean Becker, I
doesn't
told
line
you
up
what needs to
anything.
happen for fast time.
Yeah, I'll talk to Lisa.
Okay.
about it.
You need to talk to Lisa Becker later.
Do you know what she's
Oh
talking about?
no.
It can't be
think
on
so.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a you can't. It can't be.
His
live.
mom might be watching.
Yeah, Jolene.
I'm just saying, there's a secret.
It's a PG show.
I feel
There's
like
a
this is
secret to
inappropriate.
fast time.
Our plan is to. I mean,
Roll the middle.
No.
Listen to Andy.
we got to disqualify towards the front of a heat race and go directly into
No,
the
really,
future
you
off
run
of
the
a
middle.
heat race win.
Yeah, we did that a couple years ago.
So I'm just.
Really, you can run the middle.
There's just so many ballers with freaking ripping motors that are going to be qualifying in row 3. So we need to eliminate that.
It's tough to make the A main if you're not quick time
Yeah.
or the front row. Like
So-
points wise,
Well,
it
you
doesn't
pass
work out.
people in the heat,
I
you
feel
do
like
it.
the easier path.
You have to be
is
faster in the heat though. That's top
Let's
4
go with
in your
that
group.
plan.
But if you
That's our
pass
plan.
everybody in your heat, you start 6th and make it to first.
Starts with the pill drop.
Well, I get it, but 4th in
Okay.
your heat race
We're
or
done.
We're
like
going
the
999.
4
That's
quick time
sweet.
guys,
Turn off the
or
TV.
you have the front row.
Turn
So
off
That's
TV.
sweet spot, yes.
sorry.
We're done.
Okay.
We already laid out the plan. We're
Okay.
good to go.
Don't tell
Thanks,
anybody.
Jimmy.